As the off-season sets in, it's the perfect time to increase mobility and your strength and maintain fitness for when we hit the roads again. Because I know very well that a lot of you are not doing it in the on-season. So today I'm joined by Daisy, cyclist and yoga instructor, who is going to take us through some movements and exercises to help us build this mobility and strength. So Daisy, first of all, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What kind of exercise can I expect today, and why is it important as a whole to do these?
So we're going to go through a few exercises. The first couple will be more focused on strength, particularly core strength, and then the others will be more focused on mobility and flexibility. The reason yoga is so great for cycling is because obviously it helps increase mobility and flexibility, core strength, and these things combined can basically make you more comfortable on the bike. And if you're more comfortable on the bike, then you can get into a more aero position. You go faster if that's your thing. The more comfortable you are on the bike, the more efficiently your muscles will work, and therefore you can potentially put out a higher power output.
That sounds good. We definitely all want to ride faster, so let's get started.
Great. Okay, so the first exercise we will do is a forearm plank. So you want to go down onto your forearms, just make sure your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. And then we'll step the feet back and straighten the legs. So you want to try and make sure that your body is in a completely straight line and parallel to the floor. That looks good. Okay, then we're going to hold it here. So you're really going to focus on engaging your core. So we can start like this. If you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you can try lifting one leg up, but keep everything the same here. And this is going to use your lower back muscles as well. Yeah, nice. Then you can hold it here a few seconds, release down, and then lift up the other one.
Already feeling the burn there.
Okay, then put this foot down. To make it to do just something extra, you can now bend one knee and bring it towards your upper arm. So you're bending the knee. Yeah, exactly. Try and not lower the hips, then you step it back and bring the other knee to the other arm. Good, nice, then step it back. Good, and then release down. So this one we can start with holding it for about 30 seconds, and then you can do those alternatives.
Okay.
And then you increase it maybe up to 60 and then 90 seconds.
All right, and that's going to be more for...
That's going to focus on core, and then with the leg lifts it's going to work your lower back as well.
Okay.
And then hip mobility as well to try and bring the knee towards the arm.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so the second exercise we're going to do are some leg lifts. And that's also going to focus core and hip flexor strength as well. So we're going to lie down, and you're going to bring the feet together, legs straight, and then we'll lie all the way back, and you can just have your hands with the palms down by your sides, and then start to engage your core like you're trying to pull the navel back towards the floor. And then from here, legs strong, you're just going to start to lift them up off the floor. Yeah, and then slowly release down. Don't let your feet touch the floor, and then you're going to bring them back up. Yeah, nice. Straighten your legs a little bit more, as much as you can. Yeah, there you go.
I think I need those mobility exercises first.
Yeah, nice. And then we can redo this maybe between 15 and 25 reps. And then you can start with 2 or 3 sets, and then maybe increase the number of sets as you go along.
Okay, I think I'll stop there for now. I'll let you guys do 15 reps. I'll stick to 10.
So another variation of this exercise is to do the same thing, but with your arms up overhead, and it just makes it a little bit more difficult, and it also starts to activate your upper abdominal muscles. But one thing to make sure is that you're not arching your back too much, so you want to try and keep your navel pulling down towards the floor as you do it. Nice. And this is really good for increasing strength in your hip flexors as well, because these get very tight with the position you're holding in while cycling and all the movement that you're doing while pedaling, so good for releasing your hip flexors. Okay, then we move on to more mobility and flexibility exercises. So the first one will be a low lunge. So we can start with the right foot forward, so have the right leg forward. And we place the left knee back, and then just come up, and for a moment just bring your hands onto your hips so you can feel your pelvis. And we want to try and create a backwards tilt of the pelvis, so you can actually use your hands here to tilt the pelvis backwards. It should increase the stretch.
Oh yeah, you can definitely feel it there. Yeah.
Okay, good. So for some people this might be enough. If you want to add a little bit more on, you can bring the hands together, interlace the fingers, press the palms of the hands up towards the sky, and then you're going to lean a little bit over towards the right side.
Oh wow.
Yeah, nice. And for these flexibility mobility exercises, I say 10 slow breaths, and this is about a minute if you breathe really slowly.
Okay.
And if it helps, you can count yourself, so you can take, say, like inhale 1, exhale 1, inhale 2, exhale 2, 10 rounds, and that's about a minute.
And then you would switch to the other side.
Yeah,
obviously.
and then you would switch to the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be very good for releasing a tight psoas muscle and tight hip flexors. Tight psoas and tight hip flexors can also cause lower back pain. So it's important.
That's a major issue for cyclists as well. So it's definitely a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so the next exercise is half splits. So from here we're going to straighten the front leg, and we want the left knee and the left hip to be in the same line. So you might have to shift your right foot a little forward, but you look like you're in a good position now.
Yeah.
And we want the fingertips to the floor. If of course you're more up here, you can bring something underneath the hands. It can be books, tins, anything, to raise the hands a little bit. Make sure you're flexing the foot. Yeah, and this is obviously great for stretching the hamstrings that also get fatigued and tight with cycling. So again, we can hold this for 10 breaths, so it's about a minute. So inhale 1 and exhale 1, so as slow as you can, and always breathing in and out of the nose as well. Another variation of this, if you feel like you can't, there's no way you can reach the floor, if you've got a really tight hamstrings and tight lower back, if that's really impossible for you, you can do the same thing lying down, and you can use something like a belt or a scarf, anything you have at home.
Right.
And you lie down and you're just going to hook the strap around the foot, and then you just gently pull on the strap, keeping the leg as straight as possible, and you get the same stretch in the back of the leg. Okay, so the next exercise focuses on hip mobility and hip stretching. So we're going to lie down first, and we're just going to rest on the elbows to begin with, and we'll keep the left leg completely straight. And then you can do this matching your breath. So with your inhale, you can bring the knee up towards the chest. And then as you exhale, you're just going to open the leg out to the side and then straighten the leg. And then with your breath in, cross it over the opposite side. So you're just getting that full rotation in the hip. So you can do this maybe a couple of times one way, a couple of times the other way. So just switching and always moving with the breath. And then we'll go directly to a pigeon pose. So that was just to kind of mobilize the hip a little bit.
Okay.
Then you can lie down fully, and we bend the left knee and just place the right ankle over the thigh like this. And then with your right hand, just gently push the right knee away. So for some people, this might be enough of a stretch in the right hip.
Yeah.
To make it a little bit more, you can lift the left foot off, thread your arm through, and then interlace the hands behind the leg. And then you can try and relax the head and the shoulders down. Good. And then it's up to you really how much you pull on the leg a little bit. And do you feel this in the right hip? You should be feeling it a little.
I'm actually feeling it more here, to be honest.
It's on the outside of the hip, yeah. Nice. If you think like on a bike, you're just so static in this position. Yeah. So it's really good to get some hip opening. Yeah, and that would also be for 10 breaths, 10 slow breaths.
Perfect.
Okay, and the next one would be a chest opener.
Sounds good.
Again, position, if you think of the position on a bike, very rounded upper back, tight shoulders, so it's really nice to do the opposite movement and try and open up through the chest. And a good one for this is if you just come onto your knees. So again, try and keep your hips and your knees in the same line, so you're not sitting back too much or leaning forward. And then try and bring the elbows down to the floor, roughly in the same line as your shoulders, so not wider. And then you can bring the hands together, interlace them, up to you, doesn't really matter. But we're going to try and just allow the chest to drop down, so it's going to be a good shoulder opener here.
Oh, wow.
We're going to be stretching all up here as well.
Yeah.
And then again, come back to your breath. So again, we're going to do this 10 slow breaths and really focus on your exhale. So with your exhale, think about the chest kind of melting down a little bit more towards the floor. Nice. Another alternative to that would be instead of being on the knees, you would be standing up, and then you can use your elbows and place them on any kind of surface, a table or windowsill, something like that, and then just allowing the chest to drop down towards the floor, and you'll get the same stretch. The next exercise will be a quad stretch. Obviously, they get worked a lot and they need stretching. And we're going to use a wall for this to rest our foot on. So how we get into it, you're just going to start to go back towards the wall. We're going to stretch the left side, so you want to try and get the left knee as close to the wall as possible. So you're going to just place the foot on the wall, yeah? And then from here, just very carefully, you're going to place your right foot forward, so kind of a low lunge position.
Just give me a second.
Okay, if that's too much, then bring your knee a little bit further away from the wall. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. Then you can just bring your hand onto your leg and just help yourself come up to standing. Just be very careful. Nice, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you feeling it?
I'm definitely feeling that one, yeah.
Okay, you can just rest your hands on your leg. Focus on rolling your shoulders back and just keeping the chest lifted. Nice, and then again, 10 slow breaths here. Here, if you want to go a little deeper, what you can do is, do you remember in the low lunges we were focusing on the backwards tilt of the pelvis? Yeah. Doing that, and that will kind of help increase the stretch as well through the left side.
Oh yeah, that's a really good stretch. Oh, I think I'm going to stop for there. And then that also for 10 breaths.
10 slow breaths.
10 slow breaths.
And then of course you can increase the number of breaths if you want to stay there longer or set a timer. But I think it's nice to be focused on the breath because this also is beneficial to cycling to try and calm down the breath as well when you're in physically stressful situations.
That was quite intense, but I am feeling really good after that. I think my final question would be, is there kind of a best time to do these movements? Is there a limit as to how many repetitions?
I would say try and do it as often as you can.
Okay.
Especially after a ride. So if you're going to do it, try and do the mobility exercises, especially after you've been riding. Okay. And then just try and fit it into your day as best as you can. If that works better for you to do it in early morning before work, you can do it then, or before bed, if that works better for you. And then if you're just getting into this, then start small. You can just make the whole thing last around 10-15 minutes. And then hopefully you can fit that into your day, like 10-15 minutes. And then start increasing the number of breaths you stay in a pose, or the number of seconds you hold a pose for, and the reps that we talked about through the exercises, and then just slowly increase and see how your body reacts to them.
All right. Well, Daisy, thank you very much for being here. That was awesome. Pleasure. If you guys are interested in more cycling specific yoga sessions, then make sure to check out Daisy's Instagram, link in the description. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, peace.
Thanks.